Hello my friends, it's Milrev. Today we're getting into how to beat all the bosses in Salmon Run. Salmon Run is basically the zombies version of Splatoon. So let's head over to Grizzco and get the party started. Alright, so we're going to shoot down from the helicopter, and this is part 2 of the training. Part 1 is really easy if you guys do it for yourself and kind of self-explanatory, but a lot of people skip over this part 2, so I'm going to walk through it just in case you skipped it, or if you haven't seen it before. It's really good to know the basics, or not so basics. Alright, so there are 11 kinds of boss salmonid out there. I can lure in a boss salmonid if you want, just tell me which one you want to practice on. So we're going to go in order, and we're going to start with Steelhead, which is one of the hardest ones actually. This overgrown appetizer has armor all over its giant slimy body. It also lobs giant smelly bombs. Shoot the bomb on its head as it expands to pop it out early, and cook the Steelhead in its own juices. Alright, and you guys can skip through the chapters if there's a certain boss that you want to see in particular. But I'm going to be taking him out in order, so... Alright, we have to shoot this thing before he lobs it. This is why he's so hard, because you're trying to avoid other guys. And you have to hit him so particularly. Thankfully, he does keep the damage from the time before, so you just got to keep at it. And the next one will be easier than your first try. Alright, we put the egg in the basket, and that one is finished. So the next one up is going to be the Flyfish. This one is one of the most annoying ones. This glorified mosquito flies through the air in an ink-powered aircraft launching missile barrages. Toss a bomb into both of its missile launchers to take it down from the inside out. Now this one is extremely dangerous, especially if there are a lot of other enemies on the board or bosses. You need to have plenty of ink as well, and you need to keep moving no matter what. So we need to throw an ink bomb in there. And yeah, you could see if he splats you with those, you're pretty much done. And when there's like 5 or 6 bosses, it's so crazy. But as long as you shoot it in there and it explodes, then you can pick up the power eggs and keep moving. I've had a couple of these on the map at the same time though, and it's really crazy. Alright, so we got that one down. The next one up is the Scrapper. This is one of the easiest ones and one of my favorites as well. So this guy... The lily-livered coward covers its frail body in shields made of cookware and putters forward, making it a tough enemy to take out. The trick is to get behind it, either by distracting it or attacking it until it's stunned. I'd say the best thing to do if you're actually playing the game is let this guy get close to your base, way up here. You can kind of wait him out, and then you can start shooting him. And you can always move around him when he breaks down. That way you can have all the golden power eggs. You don't want to shoot him way down on the beach because he'll transport them to you for free. So that was easy. You shouldn't have too difficult with that one. The next one up is the Steel Eel. This one is really cool, but can also be a little bit annoying. We see, I think, probably the most of these. This giant eel thing is actually a vehicle piloted by a tiny salmonid. Don't let it touch you or it's lights out. The slimy pilot is sitting on the tail end. Sneak behind it to take it out. The thing that makes this one more difficult is it can turn around so quickly. Like, it doesn't need much space at all to turn around, so you gotta watch out that the head might be coming after you when you're going after the tail. But you can just take it out by taking out the pilot on the back, just like that. Next up is the Stinger. He is the cousin of the Steel Eel. You can see they look pretty similar, but they actually work in a much different way. This spineless sniper sits on top of a tower taking dirty pot shots at you from the shoreline. Attack the stack of dirty cooking pots to cut this baddie down to size. When all the pots are done, the Stinger will be 2. So this guy can shoot through walls, and when you're trying to take out enemies and stuff, he can just spawn across the map, and he will take you out. You just gotta get rid of all of the pots, and then hit him. It might be easy when no one else is around, but when you have hundreds of enemies, it's so crazy. He just shoots through the wall, so be really careful, and always dodge and then find him quickly. Next up is Maws, and this one looks ferocious and difficult, and I thought it was at first, but it's actually not as bad as the other ones. This bottom-feeding mouth breather follows its prey while submerged in ink. It suddenly leaps out at you, swallows them whole. One strategy for taking Maws down is to place a bomb on the spot it'll appear, so it chews on that instead of you. Exactly, so the Maws, if you try to shoot it, it takes a while, but if you use an ink bomb, it actually isn't too difficult. You want to get them to spawn up, and you have to be a little bit earlier on the ink bomb so you can eat it up, and then it's pretty easy. These guys are almost free points as long as you're paying attention. Sometimes you can get caught in them on accident, so be careful of the circles. Next up is the Drizzler. This guy's pretty cool. but he can do a lot of damage even though he's small. This scaly scuzz nuzzler fires torpedoes that create clouds that rain ink. When it's under its umbrella, your attacks can't hurt it. Take your shot when the Drizzler peeks out from under its umbrella. You can also hit its rockets to knock them back. Ooh, so yeah, this is pretty crazy. This guy travels with the umbrella, and the rain cloud he produces can make so much ink, so you gotta shoot him really quick when he flips over. The difficult part as well is you have to hit him quite a bit of time, so you're kind of vulnerable when you're shooting him as well. So, and look, it just rains all over the map, and that can take your health down and cover, like, look at all that. It could go even further and cover your entire base. So yeah, definitely take him out, find him as soon as possible. Next up is the fish stick, which is one of the funniest names for the bosses. Boss Salmonid Fish Stick. These screwy salmonids plant a pillar in the ground, then fly in circles around the top and spray ink all over. Climb up there and splat them all. The pillar will stick around once they're gone, so put it to good use. So these guys, you don't need to climb up the pillar, but it definitely helps if you do to take them out. It's a little bit easier. If you have a long-range weapon, you don't need to. I suggest spraying it up like this before you climb up there, but look at how much ink they do. So yeah, you want to get as many of them as you can out of there. And you can throw them off the top like this and then recharge the ink right here. And you can keep using this one until the end of the wave as a spot where it's really difficult to get you without a special attack. So it's a nice little post. Alright, next we have the Flipper Flopper. I thought those were some kind of shoes, but this dolphin is actually really fun. One of my favorites. I think it's a fair boss and really fun to fight. This one throws out an ink ring, then it dives into it. Do not get caught inside the ring or, well, you'll see. Cover the ring in your own ink before it can dive. That'll leave it flopping out in the open. Splat it. So just like he said, it's going to make a circle ring. That'll show you where it's about to flop, and you can actually shoot this one in mid-air as well. You don't have to wait for him to hit the ground. So he's going to make one right on top of me, and I want to shoot out the ring there. And then yeah, he dives right into the ink, and you're free to take those. So don't try to shoot him in the air as much as shooting the ground. If you finish the ground, you can shoot at the dolphin as well. Alright, only 2 left, and this guy is the big shot. Actually, they don't have the grillers. So the griller is another one that's really tough, and I might add that in the future. I'm surprised they don't have it on the list, but let's look at the big shot. Big shot, this crafty cannoneer sets up a big shot launcher on the shore to fire cannonballs brought in from the sea. Just jump over the shockwaves from the cannonballs. If you're hauling a golden egg and you're near the big shot launcher, try pressing A. That'll launch the egg towards the basket. That is a really good tip. So these guys will make use of these cannons. They'll walk out of the ocean and walk back after they fired it. And they'll basically shoot the special attack, the wave breaker. So if we grab one of these, we can load it up, and that will allow us to actually load all 3 of these things up, which will make our lives so much easier. So even if you played this, you might have skipped over that part. That is a really useful tip. And those little things are going to help you be the make or break it between finishing and not having enough eggs to meet your quota. The last one on this list is the Slammin Lid, or the UFO kind of guy. And this one's actually really cool. I do enjoy this one. So here we have the Slammin Lid. Okay, these ones ride on a flying machine that makes force fields walk under it, and it'll try to squash you. But if it tries to squash you and you dodge, you can climb on top of it and take out the pilot. So we have to lure these guys down. They are sitting on top, as you can see. Or if you have a long-range weapon, you can actually shoot him from a little bit ways away. Yeah, we don't even need to worry about it. So you can trap him down. I might do this one more time so I can show you guys how to lure him down first. So that's one way you can take him out. Alright, we're going to do the Slammin Lid one more time. So let's say you don't have a clear shot on top of him. He does spawn out some enemies. You just need to get pretty close and then dodge out of the way. Then you can jump up here and just shoot him down like that. You just got to be really careful. Only go in a tiny bit, and then you can come back out and then wait for him to drop. Congrats, kid, and welcome to the Grizzco family. Alright, my friends, I hope that helped you out. If it did, remember to leave a like and also subscribe for more awesome tutorials and content coming out on Splatoon. We have a lot more to get into, even just with Salmon Run. We're also going to be doing the story, so until next time, happy fishing, and God bless.